My mother became physically aggressive. My mom always told me nobody would believe me. I was fully isolated from everybody.
John and Kate Gosselin have ended. The stars of the reality show, John and Kate Plus 8, finally broke their silence.
They were once America's favorite reality TV family. But behind the perfectly staged smiles and camera-ready chaos was a chilling truth. Now, after years of silence, her own children are speaking out. And what they reveal changes everything. This isn't just the fall of a TV mom. This is a final reckoning. For Kate Gosselin, the sentence is in. Goodbye forever. Kate Gosselin first captured the nation's attention in 2007 with John and Kate Plus 8, a TLC show that followed her husband John, and their 8 children, twin girls and a set of sextuplets. At first, audiences were enchanted. Here was a woman navigating chaos with precision and control. Her no-nonsense attitude and ironclad rules appeared to be the only way to maintain order in a household with so many young kids. Viewers saw her as powerful, efficient, even admirable. But as the show continued, cracks began to show. Behind the curated TV footage, insiders and former crew members suggested something much different. They described a household ruled with military precision, where perfection wasn't just expected, it was demanded. Children were reportedly punished for minor infractions. Strict schedules dictated everything from playtime to mealtime. Even bedtime routines were regulated to the minute. Kate's control, they claimed, extended far beyond typical parenting. By 2009, the Gosselin brand started to unravel. Kate and John's marriage fell apart in a very public divorce, followed by an all-out media frenzy. Allegations flew from both sides. John accused Kate of prioritizing fame over family, of being obsessed with her image. Kate painted John as unreliable, insisting she was the only stable parent in the household. The public didn't know whom to believe, but one thing was clear: the family was fractured. In the years that followed, Kate tried to hold on to her public persona. She appeared in spin-offs and even competed in reality competitions. But something had changed. The admiration she once received was replaced by skepticism. Reports of harsh discipline, emotional distance, and family division followed her like a shadow. And as her children grew older, the silence from within the family became louder than any tabloid headline. Then Hannah Gosselin broke her silence. Hannah, one of the sextuplets, had been a familiar face to longtime fans. But in 2018, she made a decision that shocked many. She chose to leave Kate's home and live full-time with her father, John. This wasn't a rebellious teenager acting out. This was a young girl quietly stepping away from a household that, to her, had become stifling. She described her time with her mother as overly controlled, a place where there was little room to be herself. With John, she said she felt free, normal, supported. Hannah had always been different from her siblings, more vocal, more independent. From a young age, she resisted Kate's harsh, disciplinary approach. Fans who revisited old episodes noted how visibly uncomfortable she often appeared, especially when Kate scolded her on camera. It wasn't just tough love, many believed. It looked personal. After moving in with John, Hannah described her new life as peaceful. No camera crews, no pressure to perform, no tight schedules or fear of breaking the rules. For the first time, she said, she felt like she was allowed to be a kid. John backed her decision wholeheartedly, stating that he trusted his daughter's judgment and only wanted what was best for her. While Kate remained mostly silent, the decision widened the rift between them. But Hannah wasn't alone. Colin Gosselin, Hannah's brother and another of the sextuplets, also left Kate's home, but under far more troubling circumstances. According to Colin, Kate had him institutionalized without warning or explanation. She claimed he had behavioral issues and needed professional help. Colin later alleged that he had been held against his will, abandoned by his mother, and cut off from his siblings. John came to his defense, stating publicly that there was nothing wrong with Colin, only that he didn't conform to Kate's rigid expectations. When Colin re-emerged in the public eye years later, he joined Hannah at their father's home. The picture they painted together was stark: a mother who enforced absolute control, who isolated those who didn't fall in line, and who seemed more concerned with maintaining an image than nurturing her children. The other children remained quiet. 4 of the sextuplets, Aiden, Alexis, Joel, and Leah, still reportedly live with Kate. Mady and Kara, the twins, have offered vague public support for their mother in the past, but they've notably avoided commenting on Colin or even acknowledging him. The family that once appeared so unified now seems split down the middle, not only by physical distance, but by emotional scars that may never fully heal. Kate's public image has continued to decline. Her once admired parenting style is now seen by many as overly harsh and emotionally cold. Attempts to relaunch her career or step back into the spotlight have largely failed. Even her social media presence, once active and carefully curated, has gone mostly silent. While some supporters still argue that she did the best she could in an extraordinary situation, the voices of her children are changing that narrative. Now 20 years old, Hannah is building a new life. She's kept much of her personal world private, sharing only occasional glimpses on platforms like TikTok. In interviews, she's offered a balanced perspective. She acknowledges her mother's strengths, resilience, work ethic, the ability to manage chaos. But she also alludes to the heavy emotional toll it all took. "My mom wasn't a villain," she once said, "but she wasn't perfect either." That single line encapsulates years of tension, pain, and reflection. It's the voice of a young woman who has come through the fire and is learning to heal. She's begun reconnecting with her siblings, reaching out through texts, sharing time with her sister Leah. They've found neutral ground, ways to be family again without taking sides. For Hannah, healing is not about returning to what once was. It's about building something new. Colin, too, has begun speaking out. In his rare public appearances, he's been candid about the isolation, the emotional scars, and his sense of abandonment. His interviews are raw and painful, offering glimpses into a childhood shaped not by love, but by expectations and silence. Kate Gosselin, once the commanding figure at the heart of a reality TV phenomenon, has remained mostly silent in the face of growing backlash. She continues to insist that every decision she made was rooted in love and aimed at protecting her children. In her eyes, she did what was necessary under extreme circumstances. But the world is no longer solely listening to her version of events. The children, who once smiled silently on camera, too young to object, are now old enough to speak, and they are telling a different story. That shift in voice has changed everything. What was once celebrated as a compelling tale of a mother navigating extraordinary challenges has evolved into something far more complicated. John and Kate +8 is no longer remembered as a heartwarming story about family. Instead, it stands as a cautionary tale about the price of exposing private lives for public consumption. Kate may have believed she was holding her family together, but in trying to control the narrative, she may have lost something far more valuable: the trust and love of her own children. The future of the Gosselin family remains unclear. Reconciliation is not impossible, but the road to healing is long and uncertain. What's clear, however, is that the damage has been done. The once tightly knit family now appears splintered, each member charting their own path forward. For Kate Gosselin, the verdict may not have been declared in court, but it has been delivered, and it is final. Do you think Kate Gosselin deserves a second chance? Or is this truly the end of an era? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. We've got more deep dives coming soon. Thanks for watching.